Welcome back to the Michigan Dynasty. We are 4-0 to begin the year, and we're coming off of a thrilling come-from-behind victory over the Indiana Hoosiers, a game that we trailed 31-13 at the half, but we're able to put together 28 points in the second half and pull off the comeback. And it was Bryce Underwood who led that charge, throwing for 344 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also running for 79 yards and a touchdown. Also in that same episode, we took on undefeated Texas at the time, and we were able to score 20 points in the fourth quarter to come from behind in that game as well and beat them 27-21. So we're unbeaten, but the schedule does not get any easier from there. We will play Penn State on the road, UCLA on the road, and then home against Oregon. 2 of those teams undefeated and in the top 10, and then UCLA 5-1, ranked number 16th in the country. This is going to be a stretch of games that is similar to the stretch that we faced last season in the middle of the schedule. It's going to be difficult, and I think the goal for these 3 games is to go 2-1 at the bare minimum. Obviously, we'd love to go 3-0, but if we could go 2-1 through this stretch of games, I think there's nothing stopping us from getting back to the Big Ten championship game. Something I forgot to mention in the last episode is we're actually dealing with some injuries. Marquise Lightfoot, we know about the broken toe that he has. We're only waiting 2 more weeks to get him back. But Lucas Austin, our starting right tackle, is injured and will be out for this game. And then Cole Sullivan is going to miss the next 3 games. So this 3-game stretch, we are going to be missing the captain of this defense. And that means we're going to need other guys to step up. Linebacker Connor Hyman is going to have to step up for us. Of course, Dion Mangum in the middle, the elite development sophomore. D'Angelo Hayes may even be a player that needs to step up for us. And then I think the biggest one is going to be Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng. We need him to perform well in this 3-game stretch with Cole Sullivan being out. And then Brady Norton will get the start for the injured Lucas Austin. We could have true freshman Trayvon Rowe go if Brady Norton is struggling at all, but we will go with Norton to start this 3-game stretch. I think that the strength is actually a concern, and with Trayvon Rowe having that 94 strength, he could be somebody that we think about a little bit more here. He's not as good at run blocking as Brady Norton, however. And then the last bit of news on the injury report, Micah Kaapana is back, and he is healthy, and I'm excited to get him back. The junior running back definitely stood out to me in the first couple of games, as he had 114 yards against Kentucky and a touchdown, and then 2 touchdowns against Texas before eventually getting injured and missing the last couple of games. The first opponent today is Penn State, and they are led by sophomore quarterback Ethan Grunkemeyer. We faced him last year. He's up to an 89 overall. He's got 90 throw power, and he is extremely accurate. He's somebody that you're definitely going to have to watch out for today. He's not going to really get out of the pocket all that often, but he does have very good accuracy. Then Jarrett Gibson, transfer running back from Texas, is the starter for them. And then at receiver, they got some weapons out there, but I think the offensive line is probably the best offensive line we'll face all season long. They're a little bit kind of lackluster at center, but every other position on this offensive line is really, really good. Defensively, they have a couple of standout players, but nobody that really jumps off the board to me that kind of scares me at all. They're really a middle-of-the-road Big Ten defense, in my opinion. It's the offense that's going to allow them to try and control the football, control the line of scrimmage with the offensive line that they have. And then the last person to talk about is their 92 overall tight end, Luke Reynolds. You thought they had something in Tyler Warren. I think Luke Reynolds is that same exact player for these guys. He's got excellent route running. He's got great hands, and he's got very good speed and acceleration. His elusiveness is also really good for the tight end position. Not really a run blocker, but he is going to probably be the favorite target for Ethan Grunkemeyer. We are going to have 4 players visiting here in this episode, all against Oregon. The first one's going to be the number 1 recruit in the nation, right tackle John Albright. Then you're also going to have 5-star athlete Bobby Berryman visiting for that Oregon game, along with 4-star quarterback Stephen Willett, who is a pocket passer we're currently going after, and then Jose Hughes, a 4-star running back that we are in second place for. But unfortunately, it looks like we're probably going to lose out on this battle to Georgia. But we have another top 5 matchup in this game. We're the 4th-ranked team in the country. Penn State, the 5th-ranked team in the country. This schedule does not get any easier from here. I'm kind of surprised that Penn State didn't make this game right here a wideout. This is typically the type of matchup that Penn State would want to turn into a wideout game. They did not, and we kind of lucked out. It's still going to be a hostile environment. It's still going to be a very tough place to try and go in and win. And with it being a top 5 Penn State team, hey, we're a top 5 team, and James Franklin's still the coach of Penn State. It's probably not looking good for James Franklin. You know, if I was a college football player, I think that I would love playing these road games where you go into these hostile environments, you run out, everybody's booing you. I feel like that would just motivate you to want to perform at your very best. And I think I'd actually like road games more than home games if I was a college football player, to be honest. After a missed field goal by Penn State, we have drove down the field, and we are in the red zone looking for the game's first points. Micah Kaapana is back and healthy in this game, as Underwood's under pressure and the ball is free. It's picked up by Avery Gash, but that's going to be back at the 29-yard line. And just a terrible red zone beginning here for Michigan. Somebody to also keep an eye on in this game is tight end Michael Smith in the slot. He has had a couple of big weeks for us as Underwood throws, and it is dropped by Aiden Mizell. That has been a trend for Aiden Mizell. And this place is rocking right now. The number 2 ranked Stadium Pulse in the country, and they're trying to make some noise as Michael Smith's open, and he's going to pick up good yardage, but still be 6 yards shy of the first down marker. And we're going to send out Chad Dennis, the sophomore field goal kicker, to try and make this a 3-0 game. But of course, we know how it is kicking on the road in this game. You have to aim a little farther over than you would expect to, and Dennis will sneak it through. It's 3-0 Michigan. And there's a big sack by Lugard Edokpai, and that's going to force a 3-and-out for Penn State as we take over. And there's a big run. It's Bryce Underwood, 69 yards to the house. A nice number. And I tell you what, if he can get the passing game going, he could be a Heisman candidate by the end of the season. He is the leading rusher on this team at the moment. With Micah Kaapana getting hurt for a couple of weeks, Bryce Underwood did take over that number 1 spot in the running category, and he's going to add to his total after that run right there. Penn State, though, responds with a big play of their own as they've moved into Michigan territory, and we'll check on Dion Mangum up the middle now after the injury to Cole Sullivan as Enal Etta gets the tackle for loss on Peyton Lewis. And he was a player that we tried to go after in the portal. He did decide to go to Penn State. So kind of trying to get our get back in this game. They motion Lewis out here on second down. Grunkemeyer underneath, and that is caught by the tight end, Reynolds, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. From the 36-yard line, Grunkemeyer in the pocket, has time to throw. He's throwing this one deep. Touchdown, Penn State. What a pass by Ethan Grunkemeyer. And that's how you respond if you're the Nittany Lions. Tyseer Denmark on the post. Jordan Young just kind of lost his depth there, and he allowed him to get behind him, and you can't allow that to happen if you're the deep safety. And instead, it's a 10-7 game. Penn State's back in it now. Tyseer Denmark with another huge reception, 25 yards, as Penn State has the ball back in there in the red zone, looking to take the lead. Bunch to the right here for Grunkemeyer. He throws this one, and it is caught by Denmark again. And it's a first down to the 7-yard line. 4th catch for Tyseer Denmark, 83 yards. From the 7, they give this one to Peyton Lewis up the middle. And Lewis will fight down to the 1-yard line. 2nd down and goal, they give it back to Lewis. Touchdown, Penn State. It was a 3-and-out for us on offense, but then Penn State got the ball back, and Mason Curtis made a huge play, recovering a fumble. And we now have the ball back midway through the second as Bryce Underwood is sacked. He's been sacked quite a few times in this game, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. It was an excellent start for us. We went out to a 10-0 lead, and then we've given up back-to-back touchdowns by Penn State, and we've not been able to move the football. As Underwood will get out of the pocket here. He's looking for somebody, and Malik Clark unable to come down with it, and Michigan will have to punt again. Fortunately, the defense is making some plays, and they have given us the ball back at midfield, 3rd and 6 for Michigan. This one thrown to Amarion Stewart, and he's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. And you know, you don't want to be too risky in this situation, but I think that Your offense has kind of stalled out. Do you punt or do you go for it? Dom Bruschi is the running back. I like the numbers we have in the box. Penn State has only put 5 in the box. I pick our offensive line over their D-line, and we are going to move the chains. Of course, a battle to keep an eye on is Brady Norton there at right tackle, filling in for Lucas Austin. We'll have to see who's giving up the sacks, but if it is him, there's a chance he could come out of this game at halftime. As we have it 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. This one thrown to Malik Clark. Broken up and incomplete. After the incompletion, we'll go to the ground. It's Micah Kapana picking up 4 yards as he nearly broke that. On 3rd down, we'll bring Aiden Mizell in motion as he's going to get the look, and Mizell is going to move the chains. That's another 1st down for Michigan, and that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. So Brady Norton has given up 2 sacks for us, but something that I'm noticing, it's popped up a couple of times, is Chaz Coleman, the guy who's gotten those sacks, has been off the field for a while. So as long as Chaz Coleman is going to be off the field, I think Brady Norton might be good to continue playing. But if he starts to come back out on the field and Brady Norton has his hands full, it may be time to get him off the field. As we have it 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, we'll dump this one off to Kapana, and he'll pick up 9 yards. 2nd down for Michigan. It's a blitz by Penn State. Michael Smith. 1st down, Michigan, to the 4-yard line of Penn State. Looking for the lead. Michael Smith. Touchdown, Michigan. The tight end transfer has been one of the better players on this offense. He missed a lot of time in week 1, but ever since that week 1 injury in that Kentucky game, he has bounced back and been the favorite target for Bryce Underwood. And Michigan reclaims the lead before the half. Into the second half, and Penn State has the ball inside the 10-yard line on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Man in motion. Grunkemeyer throws it to Reynolds, and he'll pick up 5 yards. He's a couple of yards shy of the end zone. His 4th catch of the game. An opportunity to come away with a big-time stop here as they run it, and the defense is going to bring him down for a loss. It's Quentin Martin on the carry. He's the one that got him down here. Had a 24-yard run to put him at the 7-yard line. And he has been the guy here. 3rd and goal for Penn State. Grunkemeyer throws. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. Michigan ball now trailing by 4. As we're at the midfield, 1st down run will go to Micah Kapana, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. Not really been a great day for Kapana. Only 4 carries. Kind of concerning that we've not been able to run the ball with any success in this game. So that brings up 2nd down. Underwood will get out of the pocket, throws underneath, and it is caught by Hogan Hansen for a pickup of 6. And that will bring up a 3rd and 1. Chaz Coleman is back out there for Penn State, so that's somebody to keep an eye on as Kapana is a yard shy of the 1st down, and that'll bring up a 4th and 1. And in this situation, I feel like I want to go for it. I think that you're in a good spot on the field. It'd be a long field goal on the road. Doesn't make any sense. 4th down and 1. Kapana still the back, and he is close to the markers, and he did not get it. Penn State turns away the Wolverines. The push that Penn State was able to get right there was just incredible. Nobody really won in the interior part of that offensive line. Our center and our guards got destroyed, and Kapana stood no chance at picking up that 1st down. And Penn State will score. It's Cameron Courtney on a 37-yard touchdown reception, and it's not looking good for Michigan. We now trail by 11, and we're going to need to come away with another huge comeback if we want to win this game. The sun in our eyes from the 25-yard line. It's Dom Bruschi up the middle, and he'll pick up 9 yards. Bruschi has been the guy that's gotten the majority of the carries in this game, as opposed to Kapana, which is kind of interesting if you ask me, as Michael Smith's wide open and he's overthrown by Bryce Underwood. And another 3rd down and short here for Michigan. We're running it. Kapana puts his head down and picks up the 1st down. There were so many holes to choose from that I just didn't know where to go. Fortunately, we did pick up the 1st down anyway. That'll take us to the 4th quarter. We trail by 11. This is only game 1 of 3 in this episode, and we're spending a lot of time on it. That's how important these games are. As we begin with the football here in the fourth quarter, Mizell is open, and he's going to have it for a first down. Aiden Mizell to the 39-yard line of Penn State. As Bryce Underwood only has 165 yards passing in this game. We need to do a better job at developing some kind of rhythm in the passing game as Dom Brewski gets the carry, picks up the first down to the 25. Big time opportunity as we're knocking on the door. Michael Smith is open, and he can't come down with it. Pass is incomplete, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. The matchup to watch out for is Brady Norton there at right tackle. Is he able to hold up in this situation? Is Malik Clark? First down, Michigan to the 3. 4th catch of the game for Malik Clark. He has been another amazing weapon for us this season. As here is Underwood on the keeper, and he's taken down for a loss. Ever since that 69-yard touchdown run, he's actually went backwards. Only 57 yards rushing at this point in the game. From the 5-yard line, Malik Clark comes in motion. Malik Clark trying to get it to him, and Underwood sacked. Just waited way too long to get rid of the ball. There was a lot of traffic there in the end zone. I think Malik Clark was eventually going to become open there. Just took too long. As Clark comes in motion on 3rd down and goal now. As this one's thrown to Brewski. And he's taken down to the 7-yard line, and we'll have to send out Chad Dennis. Not an easy field goal attempt here on the road. Dennis's kick is good. It sneaks through. And it's an 8-point game in the fourth quarter. A 27-yard reception to Cameron Courtney has Penn State at the 26-yard line. And we at this point are going to need a turnover as we're midway through the fourth quarter. Penn State's offense has done an excellent job in this game. Their defense as well. As Grunkemeyer in the pocket throws this one out to Peyton Lewis. Might be a negative play. And it is. It's a loss of 1. Peyton Lewis 91 yards rushing on the day. They've done an excellent job. As they go quads to the left here. 2nd down 11. Grunkemeyer is going to take it up the middle himself and pick up 4 yards. Malachi Goodman shaken up on the play. I thought they were going to throw the screen out there, so my plan was to try and jump the route. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Penn State's made these look easy all day, though. Here's Grunkemeyer in the pocket. Pressure. First down, Penn State. Ethan Grunkemeyer, 235 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, has not turned the ball over. What a game by Penn State as they look to go up by 15. 1st and goal, they hand this one off to Lewis, and he's taken down. Enaletta there on the stop. Here's the give to Peyton Lewis again up the middle. Lewis, touchdown, Penn State. And they've taken a 2-score lead at home over the number 4 ranked Michigan Wolverines. So 4.5 minutes remaining in this game. You don't need to score in one play, but you do need to try and score with some kind of urgency here as Underwood's going to step up. He'll slide down after picking up a first down. And ideally, you would like to score before the 2-minute timeout. From the 37-yard line now, Michael Smith can't come down with it. Pass falls incomplete. A couple of times in this game, Underwood has put the ball where Michael Smith is preparing for a big-time hit. As that'll bring up a 2nd down for Michigan. Malik Clark going deep across the middle, and Clark can't come down with it. That brings up 3rd down and 10 for Michigan. As Michael Smith, deep ball. That one's incomplete. 4th down upcoming. It's gotten to the point now where we're looking to try and make a big play in one play. And it just hasn't worked for us. 4th down here for Michigan. Game on the line. Underwood can't get rid of it. It's a sack for Penn State. Their 6th of the game. And it looks like Penn State's going to come away with the victory. And to add insult to injury, Quentin Martin goes 14 yards for the touchdown. It's now a 22-point game. And I was sitting there saying things at the beginning like, oh, it's a good thing we're not playing in a wideout. It wouldn't have made a difference. Penn State dominates this game. They win it 42-20. This was the game that I thought we were going to win. I really wasn't afraid of Penn State, as James Franklin's definitely not the head coach for Penn State anymore. Ethan Grunkemeyer, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns. They ran the ball with a ton of success in this game. And I think the thing that was most concerning to me about this performance offensively for us was typically Michigan, we're known for running the football. In this game, we just did not do a good job at that. We also gave up 431 yards of offense. That certainly does not help at all. But when you run the ball 30 times and you're only able to come away with 113 yards, you just didn't do it effective. You didn't do it as well as you should have. They actually lost a fumble in this game, and we didn't have any turnovers on offense. We just couldn't move the ball. Bryce Underwood, 196 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He had 55 yards rushing on the ground. Dom Brewski and Micah Kaapana were pretty much non-existent here on 17 carries. And it's become concerning to me why Bryce Underwood is the leading rusher on this offense. It shouldn't be like that. Malik Clark had 4 receptions. Michael Smith had 4 receptions. And then Aiden Mizell also had 4 catches in this game. But it was Penn State the entire way. Lugard Idokpai was also injured in this game. He did have a sack. And then the forced fumble was caused by Mason Curtis. He also recovered it. For Penn State, Ethan Grunkemeyer was really good. 249 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then running the ball, Peyton Lewis over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quentin Martin had 56 yards and a touchdown. And in the receiving game, Tyseer Denmark was really good. Luke Reynolds had a touchdown. And then Cameron Courtney, it felt like multiple times in this game, came up with huge catches to put them in an excellent position. And then Chaz Coleman at the beginning of the game, we just couldn't block him. He left the game with some wear and tear, and I think that was probably what eventually slowed him down a little bit. But guys like Jordan Crawford and Jalen Harvey were able to pick up the slack, along with DJ McClary. I think the only fortunate thing about this game is the fact that it was a road game, and we didn't have any recruits coming to this game, because that right there would have ensured that we missed out on quite a few players. And we're going to have to advance and try and just put the pieces together and get back to winning football, because that was an atrocious performance. And like I said earlier, the schedule doesn't get any easier. As Stephen Willett from Brooklyn, New York commits, he's not even going to be here for that Week 8 visit. And then 4-star receiver Kayvon Droge also commits. I like his skill set, so he's somebody I'm actually excited for. And I think there's a possibility that he could be a key piece here in a couple of seasons. Multiple players commit elsewhere, though. Marshall Wall is going to Georgia. The running back we talked about at the beginning of the video also going to Georgia. And then we also had another running back commit to Alabama, as we get a look at some of these players at risk of transferring out as we move down to number 13 in the country. One recruiting battle I think that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on here is the 5-star quarterback DeMarcus Morrow. He's the number 1 quarterback recruit in the country, and we are currently in first place. You got Washington, USC, Oklahoma, and then Texas in the mix. But I think this would be an excellent pickup. We know Bryce Underwood's a junior. He could even declare at the end of this season. And I think DeMarcus Morrow would be an excellent replacement. 93 throw power. The accuracies are all above 80. Throwing the run and under pressure at 77 and 78. I like the speed at 78 with the 79 acceleration. He's a pocket passer, but he does have the ability to get out of the pocket if he needs to. So I think he would be an excellent quarterback for us to bring in. And we do have a Week 9 visit lined up for him. It's not going to be in this episode. It'll be in the next episode. But if we're able to come away with a good victory in that Week 9 visit over Rutgers, I think we could potentially pick up the commitment of DeMarcus Morrow. Lugard Idokpai suffered a torn labrum in that game. He'll be out for the next 3 weeks. So another injury to this defense. Marquise Lightfoot already being out definitely hurts us at this point. And I don't know. I mean, multiple injuries on this defensive line. That's going to line up George Luter to get much more playing time even when Marquise Lightfoot comes back. And then you're also going to have to rely on guys like Devon Baxter, Dom Nichols, and then maybe even a guy like Nathaniel Marshall, who I wish would have just broken out at this point. I think he's going to be a lot better than the game thinks he's going to be. But we're going to be relying a lot on true freshman George Luter. I mean, he's going to be an every down type of player. And I think that if he's able to step up, I think once we get Marquise Lightfoot back, this pass rush is going to be pretty good for us. The next opponent is UCLA, and they are led by 83 overall A.J. Brand at quarterback, a redshirt sophomore who has really good athleticism, 85 speed, 89 acceleration, and 89 agility. He's not the most accurate passer in the world, but he is really good with his legs. If he gets out of the pocket, he's looking to throw. He's looking to run. He's just looking to make a play. He's a playmaker at the quarterback position. And he has a couple of good receivers to throw to here. Quasi Gilmer and then Rico Flores are both really good senior receivers. Defensively, UCLA's defense is led by these corners. It's LaRue, Zamorano, and Robert Stafford. Both really solid corners overall. They have good speed. They have really, really good zone coverage. So I would expect UCLA to run a lot of zone in this game, because if these guys are getting beat, chances are they're just going to get beat all over the field defensively. As we're back on the road and we are at the Rose Bowl. Unfortunately, that's where our season ended last season against USC. But good thing we're not taking on USC in this game. We're taking on UCLA. It's the second straight road game. We'll be at home for the next matchup against Oregon. And guess what? We did not bring the team down days earlier like Sharon Moore did last season when we went to play USC. Who knows what Sharon Moore really took him down there early for. Makes you think now, doesn't it? UCLA, a really solid team. They were a solid team when we played them last season. And somehow, here in College Football 26, UCLA has just turned into a really solid program overall. Should be a tough matchup in Los Angeles. We're through one quarter in this game, and UCLA has a 3-0 lead. So again, our offense struggling a little bit to begin this game as we throw this one to Malik Clark underneath. We'll pick up 10 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 at the UCLA 41-yard line as we look for points. Nobody's even on Amarion Stewart. And I can't change the play because he can't hear me. This should be an easy touchdown for us. Why does this game do this? Amarion Stewart, 1st down to the 10-yard line. Like, how many times has this happened in this series alone? That's at least the 4th time that I think this has happened. As we'll give this one to Micah Kapana. Touchdown, Michigan. Micah Kapana puts his head down and gives us the lead on the road. Defense did their thing, and we have the football back at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10. We're going to go play action here. Mizell is open. 1st down, Michigan. Excellent pass on the run by Bryce Underwood. We're knocking on the door again. 1st and 10. We'll go play action. Malik Clark is open across the middle, and he comes down with it. 1st and 10, Michigan, as Andrew Babalola shaking up on the play. He is our best offensive lineman, so him leaving the field right now is not good news. From the 12-yard line, Bryce Underwood taken down in the backfield for a loss. Need to pick up 4 to pick up the 1st down here, as Underwood throws to the end zone, and it's dropped again by Aiden Mizell. What is up with this guy, and why can't he catch a pass? Again, putting Chad Dennis in another awkward situation with these field goals on the road. And he's been money. 10-3 Michigan leads, but Aiden Mizell has stones for hands. Looking to get off the field here on 3rd down as Owusu Boateng on the pressure, and the pass is caught across the middle for a 1st down. One thing I continue to forget to change is our defensive playbook. We are running a 4-3 defense, but it has too much 3-3-5 in it. As here's pressure off the edge. It's a sack for Michigan, and the ball's picked up by Jeff Fair. But as I was saying, it has too much 3-3-5 in it, and majority of these 3-3-5 defenses has a lot of defensive tackles on the field, and it doesn't put our edge rushers out there. D'Angelo Hayes, the backup middle linebacker who I talked about at the beginning of the episode, is the one who got through on the blitz and forced the ball free. And what a play by D'Angelo Hayes. I'm glad I talked about him now, as we have it at the 43-yard line as we're looking to add to our lead. Kapana gets the handoff and picks up no yardage. Again, the running game is just kind of struggling. 2nd down and 10 now for Michigan as Hansen was open. Underwood saw it too late, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10. From the 43-yard line, Malik Clark on the slant is open, and Malik Clark is close to the 1st down, and they're going to give it to him. As Micah Kapana is shaken up, and it really kind of feels like that's been his biggest issue this season. He's not been able to stay healthy. But after a big-time 1st down to Malik Clark, It's 1st and 10, and Michael Smith comes down with it at the 15-yard line. Underwood's doing a really good job passing the ball in this game so far. As Brewski goes in motion from the 15-yard line. Here is Underwood. Malik Clark is quadruple covered, and it's intercepted. How in the world do you throw that pass when you look over and see he's quadruple covered, and it's going to be close to a pick six by UCLA? That's just a terrible read by myself. For some reason, it kind of looked like Malik Clark was going to be open there. Like, what was I thinking? He was quadruple covered. Like, what? Why am I throwing this pass? That's atrocious. And UCLA is going to tie the game up. One play, and they have answered. Into the third quarter we go. It's 10-10. You know, the goal here is just don't throw it to somebody who's quadruple covered, and I think we'll be just fine. As Ka'apana picks up a couple of yards on that play, but he is definitely dealing with an injury at this point. I would love to be able to audible right now, but on the road, it's nearly impossible as Underwood keeps it, and Underwood will pick up a couple of yards. Nobody was really even lined up over Michael Smith. I would have loved to have tried to get him the ball there. We're going to try and get him the ball here on 2nd and 7 with a tight end screen. These plays really don't work all that well. We're going to try and set it up, though, and it's going to work this time. Michael Smith's going to pick up the first down to the 23-yard line. 4 catches for 47 yards for the senior tight end. From the 23-yard line, play action, Underwood, pressure in his face, and he goes down. And he's injured on the play. You do not want to see this. Bryce Underwood has really taken a lot of hits. 6 sacks in that Penn State game. He's sacked here on this play, and that's going to bring in McComb, the Bowling Green transfer. If you watched the offseason video, you would know that I was excited about McComb. I thought he was a really good player. What a scramble by McComb! Inside the 5-yard line of the 4. It's a bruised knee for Bryce Underwood as David McComb, the sophomore, scrambled for 24 yards there. But yeah, if you watch that offseason video, you would know I was excited about him. He was a freshman starter last year for Bowling Green, and he put up an excellent season as Don Brewski gives us the lead. David McComb comes in and is able to help continue on that drive. And at this point, we need the defense to make some plays. UCLA at the 39-yard line of Michigan, looking for some points right here. A touchdown is needed to be able to tie it as they go play action. He's got time to throw to the outside. What a pass on that comeback route. That's Quasi Gilmer. 73 yards receiving for Gilmer. In the red zone now for UCLA as running back was open and we were there. We should have had an interception. We literally baited him. I think I was just shocked that he threw it. 2nd down. They're throwing again. Has time to throw across the middle. Wide open. UCLA down. Touchdown. I was about to say down inside the 5. And then we pushed him in from the back. And we're in another tight game this season. That was Rico Flores there. And the PAT would tie this one up here with a minute to go in the third quarter. We have ourselves a ball game. Good news now, Bryce Underwood is back out there on the field. He is healthy and ready to perform as he's going to have to scramble here. Underwood looking to make a play. Takes another shot. Picks up 3 yards with his legs. Got to be careful at this point in the game to not see an injury. And at this point, we've already seen him leave the game at, once. The next time he leaves could be long term. So 2nd and 7, Ka'apana gets the carry, and he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards. Looks like Ka'apana's also gotten a little healthy here as we go to the fourth quarter. He's dealing with a left knee, but he looks really quick to me as Ka'apana's going to be taken down a yard shy of the first down marker. 56 yards on the road is just not happening. That's just not something that I can risk. You miss it, they get the ball at like the 39-yard line. There's no way I'm trying to field goal from 56 yards out on the road. It makes no sense. Underwood underneath, and it's caught by Malik Clark. It's a first down. It's been a pretty good game for Bryce Underwood passing, other than the quadruple coverage interception. We have it at the 32-yard line. Play action. Michael Smith is open across the middle. He's got it. The senior tight end moves the chains all the way to the 13-yard line. He's been a playmaker for us. 6 catches, 76 yards. He is the #1 option in this offense at the moment. From the 13-yard line, Malik Clark on the curl, comes down with it. At the 6-yard line now. 2nd and 2. Brewski's taken down in the backfield. And that brings up a 3rd and 5 for Michigan. Even if a field goal gives you a lead, I think, settling for a field goal would suck. As Underwood has time to throw to the end zone, and that should be pass interference all day long. They're not going to call it. And we're going to have to settle for another field goal attempt. Chad Dennis has been good on the road here in these games. That one also good, and it's 20-17. The defense forces a 3 and out, and that's what you like to see right there. But it looks like we're going to have a 3 and out of our own. So UCLA will get the ball back. They're going to have to drive a long way here, and it's not going to happen. Another 3 and out. And with under 4 minutes to go, at this point in the game, you have an opportunity to run the clock out. And we're going to try and do that. At the 39-yard line, Kaapana up the middle. Kaapana with the cutback. Kaapana all the way to the 20 of UCLA. Down the sidelines, and he scores. What a run by Micah Kaapana. And what a block by Michael Smith down the field. If you watch the replay back, look at Michael Smith here. That block is what really allowed Micah Kaapana to go the distance. And if you ask me the MVP of this offense, it's Michael Smith, the tight end. He's been a reliable receiver for us. He's blocking down the field, and then Micah Kaapana does the rest on that play. Under 3 minutes to go, UCLA, 4th and 1, and it's going to be a conversion. Trailing by 10. They would need a miracle, but, I've seen crazy things happen. We came back down 31-13 at the half over Indiana. 1st and 10, time to throw. It runs out. Devon Baxter with the sack. I think bringing pressure is our best friend at this moment. 2nd and 17, we're bringing pressure again, and we don't get there, but we force the throwaway. I think this has been an excellent response by this defense. After allowing over 40 points a week ago to Penn State, holding UCLA to 17 points is pretty good. Here's a 3rd and 17, deep ball. Jordan Young in coverage, and he's there to break it away. Again, Jordan Young has had an excellent season for us. And this could be the last play of the game for UCLA. 4th and 17 at their own 40-yard line. Will bring pressure again. He has time to throw. Heaving one deep. Cortland Guillory in coverage, and he breaks it up, and then it's incomplete. Michigan is going to win it. Of course, barring anything crazy in the last 2 minutes of play. 4th and 4, we are going to have to give it back to UCLA. They have it with 1.5 minutes to go, driving down the field. They're knocking on the door here. They do not have any timeouts. 20 seconds to go. Clock is running here for UCLA. Time to throw to the outside. The pass is incomplete. Great coverage out there by Cortland Guillory, and that was also Mason Curtis there that broke it up. 15 seconds remaining. 2nd down and 10. In the pocket, time to throw. It's going to run out, but he throws to his man. He's eventually going to have him wide open. And UCLA says it's not over yet. As they'll line up for the onside kick with 9 seconds to go. All we need to do is recover it, and that's what Alex Donnerson does. It's a backup strong safety for us. And that'll do it. A 27-24 road victory. Remember at the beginning of the video, I told you worst case scenario, if we went 2-1 in this 3-game stretch, I think I'd be happy with it. Well, we are 1-1. And this game against Oregon's a big one. We have a lot of recruits on campus. A loss could potentially put us out of Big Ten championship contention. So it's a big one against the Ducks. A team that beat us a season ago when we took them on in Autzen Stadium. It's going to be a tough game. We had a long run there by Micah Kaapana, but we really didn't run the ball well in this game as well. We had 4.2 yards per carry. If you take away that long run, who knows what that number is actually going to say. We turned the ball over one time. We forced 3 on UCLA as A.J. Brand threw 2 interceptions. And then they just weren't able to run the ball at all in this game. Rico Flores had 110 yards and a touchdown. Quasi Gilmer also had a touchdown. But for us, I'm pleased with the way that Bryce Underwood played aside from the 1 interception. He had 250 yards passing. And then running the ball, Cobb Pona, 106 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. For once, Bryce Underwood wasn't the leading rusher. And then David McComb came in this game and had a 24-yard run to set up a 1st and goal. Malik Clark, 8 for 71. Michael Smith, 6 for 76. Go figure, Aiden Mizell drops another pass. Lucas Austin comes back. He's healthy, but gives up 2 sacks. That right side of the offensive line has kind of looked a little iffy. D'Angelo Hayes, Connor Hyman, and Devon Baxter all had a sack, and then Dion Mangum and George Luter each had a half sack. And Cortland Guillory, the shutdown corner, had 2 interceptions. And, of course, D'Angelo Hayes on that sack had a strip sack. Big-time play there by the backup linebacker. And then Chad Dennis missed a field goal in this game. That's a rarity. Before I advance to the next week, something that I want to keep an eye on here is Lucas Austin in 4 games has allowed 4 sacks. And then Brady Norton in 4 games has allowed 3 sacks. He's not really been any better. And we have a true freshman right tackle kind of just waiting around for his opportunity. And I think I'm going to finally give it to him. He is really, really strong. Trayvon Rowe is his name. We talked about him there when we were talking about the Lucas Austin injury. And I think that he would be somebody that would make that right side of the offensive line a lot better than it currently is. He's a freak athlete, has 70 speed, 79 acceleration, and this is as a true freshman. He's also got 94 strength. He's a really solid pass blocker. Not as great in the run blocking category, but with some temporary boosts, he's up to an 81. He struggles more so against finesse rushers, but his lead block, his impact block is all amazing. He's got excellent toughness, and that 94 strength just cannot be ignored. Star development, former 5-star Trayvon Rowe is going to make his first ever start in this game against Oregon. I just don't think our right side of the offensive line has played well enough. And you could also make a case that Avery Gash hasn't played well enough at left guard as well. So I think I'm going to give Ezekiel Nwosu a chance to start in this game. I don't know if it's the strength rating at 92. You'd think it's good enough. Nwosu has 1 extra strength rating than him. I don't know. He's not played well. He's also given up like 4 sacks. I think it's a good opportunity to just get looks at different guys, and that's what we're going to do with Ezekiel Nwosu. As we pick up the commitment by Terrell Gossett, 4-star corner from Dearborn, Michigan. So that should be a total of 4 guys we've brought in so far in recruiting. We're not going to bring in really a huge class or anything this year. It's probably going to be a 15-man high school class, if I had to guess, as the next matchup is against number 7 ranked Oregon. They're 6-0. We're 5-1. This is going to be a battle against the Ducks. And it's not just the fact that we're playing against an undefeated team that makes this matchup important. It's important because number 1 recruit John Albright is going to be at this game. Number 13 recruit Bobby Berryman will be at this game. This is a huge matchup for a multitude of reasons. Also in the DeMarcus Morrow battle, we are in first place, but Oklahoma, USC, and Washington are trying to make up some ground. And real quick, I guess one other thing we can talk about as far as recruiting is the running back position. We are going after a guy, Darren Aina, but at the moment, Maryland's trying to make a push. They have a Week 10 visit scheduled, and they might honestly be able to bring him in. So I have scouted a couple of 3-star guys. They don't look too bad. Orlando Toole is a 3-star gem. 82 speed is what worries me. That's just too slow. Same thing with Lester Addison. Dennis Roundtree's not a gem, but I like his speed a lot more. 89 speed is something that, in my opinion, that plays. 82 speed does not play. So there's 3 guys we're currently looking at. We'll see if we're able to get ahead in any of those battles. So in real life, Patrick Mahomes Jr. has just transferred to Oregon, if you guys didn't see that. But Colton Joseph is the quarterback for Oregon. He was the quarterback for him last season. He's up to a 90 overall, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the country. He's got really good speed and acceleration. He can get out of the pocket. He's extremely accurate. The only downside to his game is the throw power is a little short, a little lower than you'd like to see. Wayshawn Parker was the running back for them last year. Nothing has changed there. But the biggest thing, I think, for this team is the fact that 99 overall tight end Jamari Johnson is injured for this game and will not play. We talked about him in the offseason video about how this is the number one player in college football, 99 overall, and he's not going to be able to go in this game. On the offensive line here for Oregon, it's a solid group. It's a middle-of-the-road Big Ten offensive line. Defensively, however, they have some standout players. Jericho Johnson and Terrence Green at defensive tackle are really good. Elijah Rushing is really good. They have great middle linebackers. Owen Chambliss, 90 overall, looks really good. And then it just gets better from there. Their corners are really good. Kingston Lopa at free safety is really good. And then Aaron Flowers, 94 overall strong safety, is really, really good. This is one of the best defenses we'll face all season long. Probably the best defense we'll face all season long. And it's going to be a challenge, seeing as how we really haven't had a great season offensively. It kind of feels like it's been better than last season, because last year offensively we were just not great. This year we've been about middle of the road, and we've not really gotten much better in the passing game. But running the ball, we've had some success. But it's been, if Bryce Underwood is using his legs pretty well, that's typically the indication for how our running game is going as a whole. If that made any sense at all. As we're back at the big house for the first time in this episode, and this might be a long episode. We've seen a lot of gameplay in this one. It's been, ranked matchups the entire way. And in my opinion, you just can't skip over any of the action. This one right here is arguably the biggest one, because now you know exactly what needs to happen in this game. With the loss to Penn State, that tells me we have to win this game if we want to have any shot at playing for a Big Ten championship. As Trey McNutt comes away with an interception for Oregon, there was a completion to Malik Clark that I got excited about, but Marquise Lightfoot, he's back in the action, and he comes away with the sack. So both defenses making some big plays early in this game as Bryce Underwood connects with Amarion Stewart, and it's a 1st and 10 at the Oregon 35-yard line. I'm not sure if this is going to be a defensive game, or it needs to be a defensive game, or Oregon might just dominate it. As Michael Smith is open, he's got a 1st down to the 16-yard line. I'm telling you what, he's become my favorite player on this offense. He makes play after play for us. As we're in the red zone now, 1st and 10. As Underwood's got time to throw, he's going to step up and scramble. Underwood fighting for the end zone. He's not going to get there. He's a yard shy. But we'll look to punch it in here with Micah Kaapana from the 1-yard line. Here's the give to him. Touchdown, Michigan. His first carry goes for 1 yard and a touchdown. And that's a good start for us. We throw an interception. That's a terrible start. But then the defense makes some plays. We get the ball back and we score. And now we forced a 3-and-out as Don Bruschi is taken down for a 2-yard loss. But I think this is an important moment in this game. If you can go down and make it 14-0, that could turn this game on its head. As it's 2nd down and 12 here, Underwood's going to step up and scramble. He's going to pick up 10 yards. He's done so well at that this season, at using his legs. He's been a lot better this year than he was last year at it. As that brings up a 3rd down and 2 underneath, and it is Amarion Stewart coming down with the reception. His 2nd of the game. And right now, Jamar Browder's been in the game a lot. We're not seeing Malik Clark out there at the moment. As it's a play action, Underwood's going to get out of the pocket. He's going to try to scramble, and Underwood's going to get out of there and pick up 8 yards. After the scramble, we go back to play action. Underwood, pressure again in his face. He gets out of the pocket. He's throwing this one up like, what in the world's going on? And it is incomplete. I wanted him to kind of lead Michael Smith there, the tight end, but I didn't want him to throw it up like that. I mean, that was a moon ball. We're fortunate that it wasn't an interception, as we'll go to Dombrowski on third down, and he's taken down for a loss. We're going to try and pin him deep here, as it's actually going to be a fake. This one thrown to Josiah Edmond, and the pass is intercepted, and they're going to have an opportunity to run it back to the 45-yard line. You know, I know you guys are going to hate it. We went for a fake field goal in the Kentucky game. We went for a fake punt here. You know, head coach Jack Angel has a lot of gutsiness in him. He's a Dan Campbell type of coach, if you will. You know, I don't think that call right there is going to cost us this game. And we're able to come away with a 3-and-out anyway. So the defense is making some plays. George Luter comes away with a sack on a 4th down attempt. And we have the ball at the 46-yard line. See what I mean? Sometimes when you play a little gutsy, it pays off. So 1st and 10 after the turnover on downs forced. And Underwood's going to step up and pick up 6 yards. Kind of a crazy sequence the last couple of plays in this game, but it has worked as Underwood's going to step up again, throws it to Amarion Stewart for a 1st down. 3rd reception here in the 1st quarter for Amarion Stewart, as we're looking to score a touchdown here, and we're going to have it. Michael Smith, touchdown, Michigan. It's one of my favorite plays. It's the RPO pop, and if they bite down on the run, it's open, and it's going to be a touchdown every time. And then Michael Smith just continuing to be a standout player for us. 3rd down and 6 for Oregon at the 26-yard line of Michigan. Looking for their first points of the game. Colton Joseph in the pocket. Time runs out to the end zone. He goes, and it's broken up. Shamari Earls in coverage, and that's going to force a 43-yard attempt for Oregon to get on the board for the first time in this game, and it's good. 14-3 Michigan leads. I really am starting to think that home field advantage definitely plays a role in this game, as on 3rd and 2, we're not going to get the 1st down, and the game does want me to go for it here. So before you guys start thinking, what am I doing? Why am I going for it? Just know that the game wants me to, as that'll bring up a 4th down and 3. Big time play here for the Oregon defense, as we're going to set up the tight end screen again, and Michael Smith's taken down for a loss. It worked before. I thought maybe it'd work again in this situation. Now Oregon takes over at the 50. And after back-to-back big plays, they are knocking on the door at the 12-yard line. They spread it out and go 5 wide here, looking for their first touchdown of the game. Colton Joseph in the pocket. Pressure, and he's sacked. Dion Mangum. If we could force Oregon to take another field goal attempt here, that would be a big win for us. Running back motions out on 2nd down. Colton Joseph has time. He throws underneath, and it's caught for 7 yards. Casey Heyman, the true freshman, out there in the nickel, and he's played really well as a true freshman. He really has played really well for us. As that brings up at 3rd and 7 inside the 10-yard line. Colton Joseph in the pocket, has time to throw. Colton Joseph, time runs out, and he throws it away. It's another field goal upcoming for the Ducks. It should be right down the middle. Shouldn't have any problems with this one. The 10th ranked crowd in the country is able to affect a little bit of the game, but you're not going to affect a field goal kick that easy. At this point, I kind of feel like we're getting in our own way at the moment. We just need to play our game. As Underwood throws this one, Mizell comes down with it at the 32-yard line. We just need to take a chill pill here. Play our game. Do what we do best. We've been going for it on 4th downs. We've been running fake punts. It's just not been smart out of us. And Michael Smith was open, but we're going to use Michael Smith as a blocker instead. Underwood, touchdown, Michigan. What a play by Bryce Underwood. And Michigan leads 21-6. Again, Michael Smith as a blocker downfield. Yes, he's not getting the ball in his hands as a receiver, but he makes the blocks that you need him to make. Jamar Browder downfield was making a block, and then Aiden Mizell gets shoved down at the end of the play. That should be a penalty. 21-6 we lead. And a 3-and-out for our defense. I'd love to try and get some points here. We're going to go 3-and-out ourselves as Oregon's looking to score before the end of the half. We can't let them. Second down underneath. This one caught by DeCorian Moore. And he'll pick up 2 yards. Oregon does have 2 timeouts here. Here is a 3rd and 3 upcoming. They'll use their second timeout. 2 tight ends in the game here for Oregon. They're passing here as this one's up the seam and it's caught by DeCorian Moore for a first down. The clock will run though when they get to the ball. 30 seconds remaining. They do have 1 timeout at their disposal here. 1st and 10. Here is Colton Joseph. He's going to scramble. Colton Joseph, what is he doing? That made literally no sense. We're only going to bring 3 right here. I'm going to go in coverage with Dion Mangum. Ball at the 13-yard line. I'd love to force him to another field goal. Better yet, I'd love to force him out of the end zone completely, as they'll use their final timeout with 16 seconds left. If we can come away with a sack right here, that would end this half. They motion the running back out. 3rd down and 2. To the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. And a game that we have dominated from start to finish is going to be heading into the half an 8-point game. And Oregon is on the move to begin the second half at the 25-yard line now. And it's up to our defense to make a play. It's an 8-point game. Number 7 versus number 10. Unbeaten Oregon versus 5-1 Michigan. The backup tight end is loose and he scores. 25-yard touchdown for Oregon. We talked about it before the game. They had one of the best tight ends in college football, if not the best tight end in college football. He's injured, and so now they're asking other players to step it up. And that's exactly what Vander Plug did on that play. And they're a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. 2-point conversion attempt for Oregon to the end zone. They got it. And it's Plug again as George Luter is hobbling off the field. It's 21-21. After a 3-and-out, followed by a 28-yard run by Wayshawn Parker, Oregon now has the ball in the red zone, looking to now take the lead. Here's Colton Joseph in the pocket, throws to the outside, and is caught at the 4-yard line. It just feels like we can't catch a break. We're up 21-6, and now about to be trailing 28-21 potentially. That's a good play there by Jordan Young flying up. And that'll bring up 3rd and 2. Will Oregon decide to try and run the ball, or will they try to pass? George Luter still not on the field with an injury. 3rd and 2. Colton Joseph, time to throw. He's going to scramble, and he's got the first down. Are you kidding me? And I just now realized Colton Joseph was an Old Dominion transfer. I know that because I was going to do an Old Dominion Dynasty when this game first dropped. Didn't decide to do that, obviously, as Wayshawn Parker up the middle is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. We're going to put some big bodies on the field here. 3 defensive tackles. 2nd and goal. They're running. Touchdown, Oregon. Wayshawn Parker gives the Ducks the lead. And the big house has been silenced. Big time completion to Aiden Mizell continues the drive. And we have it at midfield into Oregon territory, trailing by 7. Bryce Underwood, time to throw. It's going to run out, and he's going to be sacked all the way back at the 43 of Michigan. You just have to throw it away there. And instead, it's 2nd and 19. Marion Stewart looked like he had a step at first, unable to really do anything with it, though. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 19. 3rd down and 19 for Michigan. Mizell with the step. Here's the deep ball. Mizell comes down with it inside the 5. But a penalty flag down, and it's coming back. Michael Smith. Pass interference. How? I mean, how are we calling a pass interference on Michael Smith there when the ball's not even going to him? How are we calling that a pass interference? The linebacker's literally engaging with him. Wow. How can you make that call? That's atrocious. And that brings up a 3rd and 29 now. Here's pressure, and it's a sack for Oregon. Their 4th of the game. Oregon's ball at their own 45-yard line, and here comes a huge 3rd down for the Michigan defense. Here's Dion Mangum, pressure, Joseph throws, and that's an excellent play made by the Michigan defense. They're going to get the ball back. Here in the 4th quarter now, still trailing by 7. You know, 3rd and inches, I'd like to be able to simulate that play and think that we're able to pick up the 1st down, but you never know in these games. DeCarlos Young checks in the game, and he's got the 1st down. We're stepping into the game now. I think this is the biggest point in this game. This drive right here. Michael Smith on the drag is open. Michael Smith, the tight end, is going to have the 1st down. His 4th catch of the game. He's got 57 yards receiving. After the Michael Smith reception, Underwood on 1st down is going to dive away and pick up 5 yards. This is a huge possession here. Dombrowski checks in the game now. He's going to get the reception. He's got a 1st down into Oregon territory. Michael Smith in motion here at the 42-yard line of Oregon. It's a play fake, and Underwood's going down. 7 minutes remaining. Here's the give to Dombrowski. Brewski, what a carry by the freshman, 14 yards. And that will bring up 3rd and 1. At the 32-yard line, Brewski, 1st down Michigan to the 25 of Oregon. Remember, a touchdown does not give you the lead. It just makes it so that you can tie it. This drive is important, but we're talking about more important drives here after this as Michael Smith takes us to the 9-yard line. And that'll bring up 1st and goal as we look to tie this game up. Underwood dealing with some wear and tear. Brewski up the middle. Touchdown, Michigan. The freshman scores. And I am not going to simulate this PAT. No way. Chad Dennis's kick is good, and we're tied at 28 apiece. We got ourselves a ball game against the Ducks. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Oregon with the ball at their own 47-yard line. They throw this one out to the receiver, and he's going to pick up 7 yards. Oregon would love to be able to just hold on to the ball here and not even give us a chance to score. Defensively, I'm looking for a huge turnover. Colton Joseph on 2nd and 3. In the pocket, he's going to step up and scramble. And Joseph breaks a tackle, and he's down to the 34-yard line. At that point, I'm going for the ball. They're working their way into field goal range. I'm trying to go for a strip. That's what I'm doing. This is the last play before the 2-minute timeout. Wayshawn Parker, 1st down and more. To the 19-yard line goes Wayshawn Parker. And this is getting interesting now. 1:58 to go. They're going to go RPO to the outside, and that's an excellent play made by Shamari Earls. At what point do you start to think about calling a timeout, though, if you're Michigan? 1:30 remaining. I think at the end of this play, you definitely have to call a timeout. Parker motions out. It's going to be a pass as this one's thrown underneath. 3rd and 4 upcoming. We're calling our first timeout. We cannot allow them to go out there and run the clock down to 40 seconds left. We just can't. In this situation right here, we need pressure by Marquise Lightfoot off the edge. 3rd and 4. We bring 4 to the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon. DeCorian Moore. And with 1:16 to go, the Ducks have taken the lead. And you know what? I'm already thinking about when we score. Not if, when we score. Do we go for 2 and just try to end the game, or do we take it to overtime? Micah Kaapana is going to return this one from the 4-yard line. Kaapana taken down to the 18. 1:13 remaining. And we got to go 82 yards. We'll begin things here with a Bryce Underwood drop back, and he is going down. I'm not sure they're going to register that as a sack. It's important we go hurry up here, but I don't like the offensive formation that we were in. So we're going to go hurry up now. Aiden Mizell is wide open. 1st down, Michigan to the 41. 1st and 10 now. They bring 4. Underwood gets out of the pocket. He's going to throw this one. It's caught by Kaapana, and he'll get out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Across midfield now. They bring 3. Underwood has time. He's going to throw to Malik Clark. It's a first down, and with 27 seconds remaining, we have to call a timeout in this situation. Underwood's making some pretty good plays here. Just need to be smart with the football. Underneath, there is Michael Smith, the tight end. He's not going to get out of bounds, and you have to use your last timeout. That sucks. 22 seconds remaining. I thought we could get it to Smith and he could get out of bounds. He's going to get out of bounds here, though. And that brings up 3rd and 2 with 19 seconds remaining. 3rd and 2. Underwood will scramble. And with 14 seconds to go, the clock will start when the ball is placed. Malik Clark needs to get set. 10 seconds remaining at the 21-yard line. You have time for maybe 2 plays here, as we're going to go to Michael Smith here. Michael Smith, touchdown Michigan! A PAT away from tying it up with 6 seconds remaining. Michael Smith, the senior tight end. And what's your play call here if you're Jack Angel? For the moment, Michigan's going to line up to go for it. I don't think you can do this. I just don't think. Because you're playing for a potential playoff spot. In my opinion, you have to kick the PAT. I want to go for it so badly. I just don't think you can afford to. You missed this, and it was your doing now. You didn't even give your team a chance to win it in overtime. So Oregon will call a timeout to try and ice us on the PAT. You can't ice Chad Dennis. And it's tied up at 35 apiece with 6 seconds remaining. As we go to overtime, Oregon will start with the ball. At the 25-yard line, they start with a run to Wayshawn Parker. Dion Mangum is there to meet him in the hole. That'll bring up a 2nd down. First overtime game, I think, of the series. And it's in a top 10 matchup where if we lose, our Big Ten title chances could go away. As here is Colton Joseph. Finally gets rid of it to DeCorian Moore. And another tackle for the sophomore linebacker, Dion Mangum. And that brings up a 3rd and 4. An opportunity to force a field goal potentially. Colton Joseph is going to be sacked. Back at the 22-yard line. And that's going to bring up a field goal attempt for Oregon. It looked like it was Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng coming off the edge. He got chipped by the running back, and then both guys actually coming off the edge. Marquise Lightfoot as well forced him to step up, and it was Owusu-Boateng who eventually brings him down. I'll tell you what, Jordan Young in this situation, he did not get out there on Wayshawn Parker. If Colton Joseph sees him, it's a race to the sticks, and I think Wayshawn Parker probably wins that foot race. That's a big-time play there by Michigan. And this is not an easy field goal attempt. From right hash, the kick is up, and it is no good off the upright. And now all we need is a field goal to win it. And that is why you kick the PAT as opposed to going for it. Because let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we go for 2, we don't get it. We didn't even give ourselves a chance in overtime. As we're going to begin with the run, we'll lose 1. I think when you drop back to try and pass this late in the game, you're risking a huge mistake. When all you need is a field goal, you don't need to take big chances like that. And across the middle, wide open, Amarion Stewart to the 5-yard line. Bryce Underwood over 300 yards passing on the day. He's had an excellent game. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Micah Kaapana gets the carry. No gain. 2nd down and goal. They go back to Kaapana. Kaapana through traffic, and he's down at the 1-yard line. And freshman right tackle Trayvon Rowe is injured. 3rd down and goal upcoming. We're bringing in DeCarlos Young. He's not gotten a lot of playing time this season, but he comes in the goal line sets. And on 3rd and goal, he's getting the give and he's taken down for a loss. And that's going to bring up a 21-yard field goal attempt. Oregon, we'll see if they try to take a timeout to ice us. They do. I mean, this right here is shorter than a PAT. Or actually, it might be the same exact distance. Chad Dennis has been money all season long for us. From 21 yards out. And for the win, Chad Dennis's kick is good. 38-35, Michigan wins. And we went 2-1 in that 3-game stretch. What a battle against Oregon. And I think that I showed a lot of growth by not going for 2 for the win and instead taking our chances in overtime, and it worked out for us. Bryce Underwood, what a game. That's how you play, and that right there is certainly going to raise his draft stock. This is definitely going to be a longer video for sure. We spent a lot of time in these 3 games, but it's only fitting that you do. We dominated the 1st and 4th quarter. They dominated the 2nd and 3rd quarter. Yeah, if you ask me, I think dominating the 1st quarter and dominating the 4th quarter, I will take that any day of the week versus dominating the 2nd and 3rd quarter. Overall, what a game. I mean, that's a really good game. It's a tale of 2 sides of the game. The middle of the game and then the beginning and end of the game. 442 yards of offense for us. We only ran the ball for 121 yards, which is just not up to the standard that I want. We turned the ball over twice. They didn't have any turnovers, and their quarterback, Colton Joseph, was pretty good today. 261 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Wayshawn Parker, over 100 yards on the ground, and DeCorian Moore, 9 receptions, 66 yards, and a touchdown. Bryce Underwood, 25 of 33, 321 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then Bryce Underwood was our leading rusher again, 18 for 79 and a touchdown. Micah Kaupana, I mean, this is not it. This running game is not it. It's giving me like this year's Alabama vibes. We just don't have a running game. Bryce Underwood has been our entire offense. Michael Smith, 8 catches, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We got a star on this offense for sure. And I hate that we are only going to have him for 1 season. Aiden Mizell, 3 catches. Malik Clark with 2. And then offensively, Trayvon Rowe did not give up a sack. So the true freshman right tackle had a successful game in my opinion. Andrew Babalola kind of struggled. But I like the fact that Trayvon Rowe played as well as he did. Ezekiel Nwosu did give up a sack, unfortunately. And then defensively for us, Dion Mangum, what a game. George Luter, 2 sacks, what a game. Mangum had a sack as well. Danny Henson and Marquise Lightfoot with a sack. And then a bunch of half sacks here. That's an exciting game right there. And we are 6-1. And we'll see if that was enough to bring in a couple of commitments here. And was it enough to bring in some elite level talent? Could that be a Big Ten championship rematch potentially? We'll have to take a look on how Penn State's played this year. As we see, 5-star athlete Bobby Berryman committed. And he's a 6'7", 230-pound athlete. He could be a perfect replacement for Michael Smith. We also see 5-star left tackle Lee Bouchard, the 2nd best tackle in the country, has committed. And we did not get a commitment out of John Albright. That's kind of strange that we didn't. After that win, we're up to number 8 in the country. This video might be like an hour and a half long, so I'm just going to go out and apologize now for the length of this video. But it's going to be a fun one. It's filled with really good games, or 2 good games and then 1 blowout, I guess. John Albright doesn't commit after the visit, but I do anticipate a commitment in the next episode. DeMarcus Morrow has a visit in the next episode in Week 9. It's this game against Rutgers. USC, Washington, and Oklahoma are right there in this battle. I wish we could do something more, but there's really nothing else we can do in this situation. The only thing we can do is hope for a successful visit and hope we're able to secure a commitment before USC is able to catch up. Sharif Molinaro is visiting in Week 10. That one's probably going to come down to a recruiting battle, but Notre Dame just had their visit, and it doesn't look like it was enough to put them in first place. Mac Bushman, edge rusher, he's going to Notre Dame, so we do miss out on him. And then I'm looking at a couple of running backs here I talked about in Orlando Toole, Lester Addison, and Dennis Roundtree. We'll see if they're any good for us. And then I also found a 3-star gem athlete in Damian Harvey, who looks like he could be pretty decent. These 3-star gems are players to definitely look out for. Not really sure if he'd be an offensive guy or a defensive guy, but if we were able to bring him in, we'd be able to find out. Taking a look at the conference standings here, Penn State is still undefeated. They're 7-0. Washington 6-1. They're undefeated in conference play. USC's 5-2. UCLA 6-2. And then there we are with Oregon, both 6-1 and 3-1 in conference play. It's been a competitive conference. Ohio State sucks. You love to see it. I mean, next episode could potentially be 5 games in one episode. Just depends on, how much you see of each game, how close each of these games are. I wonder if Bryce Underwood's getting some Heisman love. He's not at the moment, which is kind of a shock to me because he's played really well this season. He has 1,700 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's completing 65% of his passes, averaging 253 passing yards a game, which is way up compared to where he was at. And he's also our leading rusher, 426 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dom Brewski's in second and Micah Kalpana in third. We got to figure out this running game. We got to figure it out quick. Michael Smith, the number 1 receiver, 34 catches, 469 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Malik Clark's right there with him, though, 5 touchdowns. Mizell, 293 yards, 212 for Amarion Stewart. And then Dom Brewski is our 5th best. We've passed the ball a lot better this season than in seasons past. And then defensively, Dion Mangum, 44 tackles. Enal Etta and George Luter, both double-digit TFLs. And the true freshman edge rusher is our number 1 sack leader. George Luter, 6.5 sacks on the season. What a season so far for him. Cortland Guillory, 2 interceptions. We've only forced 3 interceptions all season long, which is kind of concerning. And then 2 more things I want to look at. Here is the numbers on Jordan Marshall. 77 carries, 408 yards. He's got a ruptured disc and will be out for the next 4 weeks. After the game against us, he had a really good game against FCS Southeast, had a really good game against Ball State, and then probably got injured in this Week 5 game against South Carolina. So was having a really solid start to the season after the game against us, but an injury has kept him sidelined, unfortunately. And then the last guy I want to take a look at is Andrew Marsh. 53 catches, 590 yards, 4 touchdowns. He is their number 1 receiver. And you got to think he's probably going to be a first-round draft pick at the end of this season. He's getting a lot more love in their offense than he did in our offense. So you can't really blame him. And then the huge story of next episode is going to be the visit of DeMarcus Morrow and if we're going to be able to bring him in a commitment. Because it is a strong possibility that Bryce Underwood could go pro at the end of this season. If he's one of the top quarterbacks, there's definitely a chance. He's the 5th highest rated quarterback. So yeah, there's definitely a chance he could declare at the end of the season and go pro, and we would need a quarterback. I think we have guys on roster that I feel confident about, but if we were able to bring in the number 1 quarterback in this class in DeMarcus Morrow, that would be huge for us. But that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of close games in this one. A blowout loss on the road against Penn State. But at the end of the day, we're the number 8 team in the country. We're 6-1. And I got to say, the commentary in this episode was a lot better than the last episode. So let me know if you agree in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.